Christmas is coming, and here are some ideas that I would actually consider. Lenovo smart displays. I have all three of them compared to the original Nest Hub or Google home screen. These guys have been reviewed just recently, and you can see my video on the channel if you're interested. Plus, at the end of the video, you'll see conditions to win Lenovo smart clock. All of them have identical function of the Google Assistant with additional features. Okay, let's open the small Lenovo clock. I haven't opened this guys yet, so my impressions are the same as yours. It's the first time. How do you open it? Oh, you open it like this. There's a sticker on the side. And once you open it, that's how it comes in. This speaker is a lot smaller than the Google device. It has a very tiny screen with thick black brackets around, which doesn't make it too ugly, but it definitely doesn't look as nice as the white bracket on the Google device. Then outside here, it has a nice cloth material as well, same as Google device has. Maybe even slightly better, I would say. And it has a built-in buttons for the volume, USB plug here, and the power supply, plus additional button to turn on and turn off microphone function. The overall quality of the wrap is pretty decent. It gives you that premium device feel to it. So the device itself, pretty much this is it, right? There are two tiny holes at the top that provide the function of the microphone. And at the back, there's nicely stitched label here for the Lenovo. Rubber pads at the bottom to create nice friction on the table so it doesn't slide away, same as this guy. Oh, actually, unlike this guy, it's a lot easier to push it. Inside the box, what we have here is the adapter, which is actually huge compared to the Google adapter. This is how, for comparison, Google plug looks like. That's about 2 times the size of this guy. Packaging is a little bit cheap compared to Google packaging. There is some kind of scratch here on the charger, or some kind of ink dot, which I managed to remove. Lenovo builds great products, but usually they don't pay too much attention to the quality. I'm saying it from my personal experience with their laptops. There's nothing else, it's empty. And over here we have the manual. There's nothing else inside. Information about the software and Lenovo Smart Clock quick start guide. And now let's power it up and see what it's all about. It powers up identically to Google. You'll see that book sequence is actually the same, except for the logo of Google and Lenovo. Now, to make this device work, you have to have a smartphone. So I'll do that now, and in the meantime, I will unpack and unwrap the larger device. And when I'm rubbing my finger on it, it feels like that it takes off like a top layer of skin, so it can easily work as a sandpaper. So you can see they're not done with much thought into them. What's cool about Google Home is that as soon as you open the application, you see that it already found the 3 additional devices. And as you can see, these are devices. The only difference between all of them here is that the smart clock, for some reason, appears in the same way as Google Home Mini. It appears as a speaker, it doesn't appear as a display. All right, let's set it up. Have to connect it to the network. Now it connects, and in a few seconds it should be all set to go. It starts the update process while offers you go through with some of the Google terms and conditions signups. Okay, I've finished setting up the smaller device, and now I'm going to set up two others. The setup process is identical as the one I've just shown before, so I'll just skip it and we'll see you in a second. Now, you might encounter this kind of error. So once you get to the step where you have to read about the privacy and stuff and etc., when you click next, it might give you this error. There was an error when linking your account, please try again. Don't panic here, just ignore it. Just leave it as is and exit from the setup. That's it. By this time, your device should have been linked to the account already, and whatever happens there and why it appears there, it shouldn't really affect how your device is set up. Just like that, I have managed to set up these three devices without any issues at all, and they're all fully functional now. Finally, I'm set with the devices here. During the setup, we've seen that this small device is appearing on the Google Home as a speaker, unlike the other ones that appear as a display. And there is a reason. So this display, even though it's here, it actually doesn't work the same as the larger devices do. Because even when you're streaming music from YouTube to it, it doesn't show the actual video, it shows only the sound and in best case the artwork of the album you're listening to. So that's the primary difference between this device and the larger screens, and that's why this is a primary competition for Google Nest Hub Mini, or whatever it's called now, basically the old donut Google Home Hub. One last cool feature of the Lenovo Smart Clock is a USB port at the back, missing from every other Lenovo device or the Nest Hub. So what it's used for is to charge your cell phone. In case if you had only plug and you had to plug in this clock by your bed, that's what you use to charge your phone. Now let's listen to how they sound like. Just for the sake of comparing, I actually got you one of the Google Donuts here. Let's see how it compares to the Lenovo's Smart Clock. So for the start, I will be playing music one device after another, and we'll compare the loudness, the quality of the music, and how it all performs. This is how it sounds on the phone. I specifically found copyright-free music that allows us to play the music without being banned by YouTube. Okay, now let's share it to the Google device. So you can hear the sound is pretty clear and it's pretty loud. Just before I play it though, the only downside of these two devices, you cannot stream the sound from YouTube directly to them. So you have to have a Google Music account. For the purpose of this exercise, I found a royalty-free music that should allow us to test the sound of the devices. First, we're gonna listen to the Lenovo Smart Clock and hear its might and power here. Okay, slowly increasing it. Out of all of them, this is the loudest device. That's how loud it gets. Now let's try to switch it to a different speaker, to the Google Home Hub. Actually loud. So definitely on a medium volume setting, it actually plays better because you can hear bass. At the max level, it's a bit more dispersed, but you still can hear it. But boy, I have to say, I'm taking my words back. The Google Home Mini plays better than the Lenovo. Let's listen to it again, just in case. And this is a medium setting now. You cannot hear the bass here at all. But I think it has more bass when it plays louder. Huh? So here's the difference. The Lenovo clock plays better on the higher volume setting, while the Google Mini, I'm already confused about the names for the Googles, Google Nest Mini version 1 plays better on the medium volume settings, and it has more bass to it and depth of the sound. Alright, so the sound verdict. It's definitely a decent device, especially for the price of it during the Black Friday sale and the upcoming Boxing Day. But then don't get me wrong, this guy over here is slightly outdated. Google has a brand new version out in the market, and I'm yet to test it. At the same time, I think out of all these speakers, I would definitely say that Google Home Hub wins the competition for the sound. Also, Google Home Hub wins the competition for the quality of the screen. As you can see, Lenovo screens, they're glossy. They're bright, they're glossy, even though they have a automatic brightness setting, same as Google Home Hub. The difference between two is that they're too bright compared with the Google Home Hub, where every picture presents itself as if it was a printed picture. And in the darkness, it actually adapts to the brightness of the room and makes it feel like a real life picture. And that's what we are about to test on these devices. Lights off. Slowly, every screen turns dark. And you still can see on the Lenovo screens, especially the large ones, that it's a screen and it's on, unlike the smart clock and the Home Hub by Google. You can only see the numbers, nothing else, because they use OLED. Okay, so now if I add dim source of light, slowly, as you can see, Google actually switched back to the picture mode, but it's very dim and it gives a presence of a printed picture in a place, while the rest of them, they don't do that. Now if I uncover the light source, put the torch light behind myself, Google is still there, but there is no light on the Lenovo devices. Okay, lights on. Immediately they pop back. Bright screen on all three devices, while the Lenovo still maintains bright, though picture-like, printed picture-like quality of the image here. So definitely screen-wise, Google definitely beats Lenovo here. So final verdict for all of the devices. On the smaller scale here, the smart clock versus Google Home Hub Mini definitely has the advantage of the screen, because it actually shows you the information instead of speaking it. I personally say that sound quality wise, Google Home Hub is better. However, if sound quality and music quality is not mandatory for you, then I recommend to choose Lenovo Smart Clock. From the range of the larger screens, I would definitely recommend to go with the Google Home Hub. And one last bit, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, share the video, like it, and leave a comment for a chance to win this awesome Lenovo Smart Clock. I'll ship it worldwide as soon as we reach at least 100 subscribers. For those of you who want to know more about the Home Hub, I have a separate video available down here. I hope I gave you enough information about Lenovo devices, and it will give you enough to make your decision to buy it or not.